1, 3, 2, 1. There we are. What's up, guys? We are live with Portland Pickers.
You guys are
there. Super excited to have these guys on. We had the pleasure of having dinner with these guys. We did like a little small Portland pop-up dinner at McMinman's. What was it, last weekend?
Yeah.
It feels like it's been freaking forever already. It's only been a week. So we did a pop-up dinner. These guys came out. We had an amazing time. We were there for 5 hours.
Were we?
Like after we left, we were like, holy crap, we were there for 5 hours. It was incredible. We had an amazing time with you guys. Got to pick your brains on a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about estate sales today because I know nothing about estate sales. I don't think, do you know anything about estate sales?
I feel like the only thing I know about estate sales is that when people die, then there are estate sales.
We've been to very few. I think the only thing I flipped out of an estate sale was that radio. I picked up as it was an old school radio. Jacob would know more about this than I would.
Transistor, is that right?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I
mean that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's a thing.
I don't remember what it was. It was just like a big old radio, and I just looked up the model number. I'm like, holy crap, these sell for like $45 in used condition. Yeah. Blew my mind. So that's the only thing that I know. So we're gonna bring these guys on, talk about estate sales. They're just amazing people, and of course, we got to show the fellow power couple some love because we definitely love the couple hustle.
Yep.
Is what we refer to it as. So welcome in the chat, guys. We got Mr. Dragon's Fire. We got Anna, Michael, Chris. We got Gretchen. What's up, guys? Drop some comments below. Let us know where you're watching from. If you guys are not already, please go on to Instagram and follow these guys, Portland Pickers. I'm excited. We'll talk about this a little bit later. I'm excited because are you both coming down on Saturday?
So
we haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I was like, it might be a long day. It's a long day.
Probably going to be a long day. So you guys will be seeing some content from us because we're doing something on Saturday. We'll talk about that.
Erika and I can just go thrifting while you guys.
It's very true.
And then we go to the beach afterwards or something.
Yeah, great.
Heck yeah. It is Friends and Family Weekend. I'm going back to Nike again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So we'll dive in. What's up, guys? Welcome in the chat. Appreciate you all tuning in. We got an Astoria, Oregon in the house.
Hey.
What's up, Dana? What's up, Mo from Chicago? We got Tucson in the house. We've been to Tucson. Tucson. What was that mountain we climbed? It was Mount Lemon down in Tucson.
Was that in
Mount
Tucson?
Lemon. I think that's right.
I almost died. It was so awful.
Oh, I love this. Chris said, can't thank you guys enough. Following your tips, I just made my first $500 in sales this week. Woo-hoo! That's amazing, man. Congrats. Oh, we got Anthony in the house. I know this guy down in Vegas. Got to meet him when we went down to Vegas. So let's dive in. Let's talk estate sales because I want to learn as much as you guys do.
You guys how did you get into this?
Yeah, like where'd you guys even start? Tell us about who you are.
It's all him. He started it.
So when I was a wee lad, I got into reselling some candy. So I always had a passion for like seeing an opportunity and buying and selling. So it about 5 years ago, I went to an estate sale with my sister and someone that she was with. And I couldn't believe the way things were priced. You know, I was like, this is $1? This tube of toothpaste? I could use this. These used socks are 50 cents? The name brand. So, I mean, obviously that's not what I focus on reselling. But through that experience, I saw just the enormous opportunity there, and it's good to get these used products back in the hands of people who will use them. And because it is kind of sad to think about all this stuff is going to either get dumped in a landfill or it'll make its way to Goodwill and some of it will get recycled back into the community. But so just seeing these opportunities out there, I'm hooked. I'm the estate sale guy for sure.
And he started going to estate sales and like talking with the people, and then he started working for one, right?
Yeah, so that is part of the backstory. I did work at an estate sale company for a while. and managed like the brick and mortar shop, and got to learn kind of the in and outs of kind of the relationship between like doing consignment and working deals, negotiating, because that is I mean, I don't know how much leeway you guys get as far as negotiating, but I'm sure it's an element in your business. You have to be able to interact with people and be personable and connect with them. And just so that element of negotiation is a huge part of estate sailing, especially when you're working on, things are flashing. Like, is this working? So yeah, it's kind of lost track there, but.
So you started working for a estate sale company, and then you started doing it for yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
You got a client.
I guess it wasn't that big of a leap, but I was like, hey, you could sell stuff on eBay, so let me try this. And some people have a strong method to the way they list or the way they buy stuff, and I'm just kind of sporadic. I'm like, I'm gonna buy all this stuff and then I'm gonna list it when I get to it, and it's worked.
One of the things that I love about your Instagram profile or all the things that you're posting is that you are so sporadic. Like you said it first, so it's not bad that I say it.
If you guys aren't following their stories on Instagram, you need to.
Like,
some of the best stories mode out there.
You buy model boats that are like 4 feet long. I would take one look at that and be like, I'm not shipping that. And then the next week you sold like some kind of car radiator or something.
Oh, is it the Jaguar parts?
The Jaguar parts. Like, you aren't afraid of anything. And that's so cool to me because like I sell clothing mostly on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And my branch out is I bought a couple board games. Like,
hey, that's where it starts, though.
You did sell those for like $60 and $70.
I had an awesome return on them, but it's just, I think it's scary for resellers to branch out from what they don't know because, you know, you're putting capital into something that could possibly tank or, you know, do very well. You just don't really know. So I love watching what you guys flip because you guys have the most variety in what you guys do. So cool.
He has this eye where he can walk into a room and just like see the money. And I think that you don't like give everything's an opportunity. Yeah. So you look at it with like, what could this be to somebody instead of being like, it's just junk.
And that's the thing is, if like for me, it was like a shift in my perspective to when I'm a reseller, when I'm walking in a place, and now it's like part of my identity. So it's hard to like detach that reality, the reselling reality from my day-to-day life. But anytime I walk into a room, I'm thinking, okay, to the person that wants this, how much would they pay for it? And then to the person who manufactured it, how much do they pay to manufacture this? And then, is it obsolete? Is it functional? What's its utility? All these, it's derived from a like economics perspective of what are the factors that give this thing value. And it really doesn't need to be looked at that thoroughly. It's worked for me, and it's allowed me to kind of make that move into categories that I don't have knowledge of, but then I'm not scared to dabble in it because I'm like, this is expensive to manufacture, so maybe it's worth something.
Yeah. So can you talk about that a little bit? Like, how do you, I think it's probably just hours and hours of time, but maybe I'm wrong. How do you walk into a sale and see kind of junk over here and junk over here? Do you gravitate towards something or do you just check everything?
So even before we go to the sale, there's a website, and I'm sure everyone has like a website in their area for estate sales. there's estatesales.net, and that's like I'm pretty sure that one spans the U.S. But like here locally in the Northwest, we have estatesalefinder.com. And I mean, it's pretty, straightforward. It is what it says it is. And so
Weird.
it's pretty cryptic.
So I'm not going to find like Walmart clearance on that site. Damn.
Sometimes they do clear outs for businesses and stuff.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. And there is product like that. So, but on the average weekend, what you'll see is, the address, the time that the sale's gonna run, which days. If there's a sign up for the first day, we had kind of talked about this, how there's a sign up if you're gonna go the first day. And then there's photos of what you can kind of expect to be at the sale. So from that point, I'm already like scanning the photos and trying to figure out what's in what rooms. And what I gravitate towards typically is the first things I'll look for are like high-end collectibles, 10 toys, antiques that are maybe cast iron or tin, or like toy related. Tools for sure.
Jewelry, gold.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basically going to end up naming all the eBay categories here.
Yeah. Right.
But
so when you...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say automotive, power tools, cordless, corded. There's just all these criteria within those categories that I operate on. And it is important for me to even challenge those because I have glazed past things, but I kind of have the method now of I will run through an estate sale a couple times, so I'll look a room over and grab what I see initially, and Erika will like beat me for this. And then I'll go back to the room and she's like, you already looked in there. Oh, but what I meant.
Sometimes I feel like you're like, I just need one more thing. And I'm like, we're wasting time because you just want one more thing.
Well, that is also a thing too. If you make the drive out, and this is probably true for you too, if you make the drive out to a location, estate sale, yard sale, thrift shop, retail outlet, you want to get as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to waste a trip out there. So that's
I did the same thing at Nike this morning. I drove out to the coast here, Lincoln City, if you're local. So I had to drive 45 minutes out to this outlet. And I went to Nike. It's Friends and Family Weekend, so 30% off. And so I went in there and I did the same thing. I walked up and down each aisle at least 4 times. And guess what? On like the third time, I found a shoe that I didn't catch the first 2 times. So there's something about going through it. So I'm on that same wavelength as you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is because when you initially go into a place, you kind of have your expectation of what you're looking for, what you're going to find. And if you leave before you give yourself an opportunity to see something else, then you're going to miss that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. How many estate sales do you go to when you you're going to hit it hard? How many do you go to in a day?
So
3.
3 is kind of like the minimum.
Yeah.
What time do those start?
So as early as 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Sometimes an estate sale won't open until noon.
Wow.
So
okay.
There's a lot of variety. Estate sale companies are kind of like the wild, wild west of selling stuff, because every company makes its own rules. They negotiate differently. They price differently. And they treat their customers differently.
Have you ran into any that just do not want you in there?
Yeah, there's some that don't negotiate at all. They're just like, nope, this is the flat amount. And
okay.
At the end of the day, on the last day, we're like, you need to sell this stuff. We know you do, but they're just not. And we'll only go to those if there's something you absolutely want, because we'll know the price is going to be higher and they aren't going to make a deal.
Yeah, even someone in the chat is saying, I like to bundle on the last day hours.
Yeah.
that has been my strategy throughout. Well, actually, more in the last couple of years, I've kind of picked up that strategy of like, oh wait, if I buy more stuff and if I spend more money, then they're gonna be more lenient on their prices, and I can kind of bulk stuff together into a pile. Sometimes it's just ridiculous though, because there'll be maybe a box of some tools, another box of electronics, a box of this, and individually they'd probably want 25 or 50 a box, and then on the last day I'm like, well, what would you do? And they're like, and they're like trying to be hard on me. They're like, $25 for it all, and I'm like, ugh, all right.
You could do the method where you just awkwardly stare at them silently.
Yeah.
Just wait for them to come lower. Don't say a word.
So you would be good at
I need to see a video on that. I really want to go in there and just like
Yeah.
record me
I
just
can't wait to go
doing stuff like that.
shopping with you guys
We get to go garage selling for the first time this season
this
tomorrow.
weekend. Yep,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So excited.
Yay.
I'm just the whole idea behind estate sales is, I don't know why it intrigues me so much, and I haven't been to them. Like when we sat down and had dinner, I told this guy for like 2 hours, I'm like, can I just tag along for a day? Like I don't even want to buy anything. I just want to watch what goes on in your brain as you're like looking at this stuff. Like when you walk into an estate sale, it's almost like it's like a garage sale on steroids sometimes, because you got so much stuff packed in each room.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you even start to dissect it? Because obviously it's category by category. So do you have like a certain method that you've developed over the years you've been doing this, or when you walk into a room, what's like your first step that you look for?
So I mean, just whatever's closest to me. And be like, do I want it? No. And I do really have kind of that tendency to just like really look at everything, and it doesn't hurt. After a while, you can kind of glaze past the reproductions and the glassware that's just like you could get that anywhere. And but I would say like the kitchen is the last place that I really spend my time. Mm-hmm. So this is actually okay. Yeah, I'll go to like
the garage.
I'll go to like the office, right? That has software, you have computer stuff. That stuff is usually pretty cheap. Software can like on the first day be $1 a piece, and newer software is $50 to $100. And then I'll go to the garage because that's gonna have tools and automotive stuff. Which again, just if they don't know how to price, then the opportunity is just enormous. And if it's a high-end house and they don't know how to price,
winning.
Disneyland.
It's reseller Disneyland.
Yeah.
Also, if you've never seen it before, like you've so much stuff now. From all the years doing it, when there's something that you've never seen before, you just pick that up and you don't even look it up sometimes because you're just like, this is odd. And like the odd, weird things, those gravitate towards you too.
They gravitate towards me.
It's a perfect eBay item.
This is weird and odd and takes a while for you to figure out what it is, then it usually
is absolutely.
Special.
I can see you just walking in and be like, I don't know what this is, but I want it.
That happens a lot.
Especially if it's cheap. And that's another important thing to consider, or that I've always taken into consideration is, so when you're branching out into new categories, you don't have to extend too much capital, because at sales, especially on the last day, if it's half off, you might only spend $10 or $15, yet you can learn about a whole different realm of things. For instance, Barbie dolls, right? That's not like that doesn't get you spiced up. But we picked up a couple Barbie dolls when we were in Houston for $1 a piece.
We go to estate sales wherever we're visiting too. He likes to look up what is going on.
Hey, why not? Different scenery, different sales.
New states are the best. I love traveling and sourcing. It's the best.
I really want to do it more often, because there's stuff that you're not going to find in your area because it was collected or the time that it was manufactured. It's going to be there. It didn't find its way here.
Or you look at like the history of the place by like what they hold on to too.
Mm-hmm.
That's also true. There's a lot of interesting dynamics to estate sales.
Totally.
But yeah, going back to the Barbie dolls, like spent $1 a piece on these like 1970s, 1960s dolls.
That had like the pull top string on the back.
And so dolls can be tricky because the like Mattel Barbie reproductions will have like the copyright date. That's
the same one from the 60s.
That's old. But if there's like Roman numerals or if it says Japan on the foot, like that's a $50 doll. Like,
wow.
Definitely. Yeah.
Great.
So we already sold a couple of the dolls, one for 60 and the other for I think 60. So
dang.
I know.
That's super random, but that reminded me of the what was the show that's been going around Netflix where they like show you the history of brands? Did you guys watch the Barbie doll one by chance?
But I've heard of that.
The whole idea of Barbie was based on this ugly German doll. If you guys get a chance, just watch it. It shows you the whole backstory of Barbie dolls and how much they're worth. That's crazy.
And we did a big lot of like from a collector, like last year. Was it last year?
Yeah. So there's one estate sale that I love out here. It's Boyd's.
You guys would like it, I think.
And they do at 2:00 on the last day. They auction out the entire contents of the house, room by room.
So you just fit in the room. So sometimes they're like $5.
If you want something specifically, you can be like, "Hey, auction this one thing separate from the room," and he'll be like, "All right, start the bidding at $5, you know, and do the damn thing." But there was a Barbie auction, and I was like, the dolls. Some of them were priced at like $200, $100 a piece, and they're like Fabergé Barbie doll. Like Silkstone Barbies.
And then there were some that had the creator of Barbie's daughter's signature on them.
What?
Yeah.
Who she created the dolls for. Like her name was like Barbara or something. Right? Or
Ruth Handler.
Yeah. I think I remember hearing that, and I haven't seen it in months. That was in the episode.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys would love that. Like, it just shows the history of, like, I watched the Star Wars one and I was like geeking out the whole time. It's crazy. Yeah, you guys would love that.
Are you Star Wars?
What's that?
Star Wars fan?
A little bit.
Heavy.
I like nerdy stuff.
We got Star Wars jackets. The Columbia.
Oh, you guys got a hold of those?
Columbia ones.
Nice.
If you want one, I still have.
You still have it?
Yeah. Brand new.
We're the last ones in line. So we got extra small, so those haven't.
That's insane. I didn't even I was so not in tune with what was going on. I just woke up one morning, checked Instagram, like, they're making $2,000 doing what? People were making bank that morning in that line. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what's going on, what these people are geeking out about right now. So Columbia Sportswear, which we have a headquarters here in Portland, did a collab. I think they do this every year is what I understand. I could be wrong about that. Just did it once?
Twice.
Oh, twice. Okay. So they did a Star Wars edition and they had like a Princess Leia, it's like a 2 or 3 layer piece jacket, like super high end. They did like a Luke and a Han Solo one. And
oh man. Which ones did you guys get?
So I got a Princess Leia, which that one sold. And then we have
Luke and Han.
Yeah, we have one.
We got one. Yeah.
You guys just chilling with them? What are you gonna do with them?
So this is reseller fail 101.
Oh no. Are they not worth anything now? I haven't even looked.
Well, they're still worth like more than what I bought them for, but
it's cooler to keep.
I misinterpreted the opportunity. I thought oh, these are something that's gonna like go up in value, but the demand was not as strong as the supply.
Well, also,
and
we got extra small because we were the last ones there.
That's true.
So
Oh yeah.
Victim to the supply available, but yeah, I'm sitting on them.
You can bring it down Saturday. I'll try to squeeze into it.
You won't squeeze into it.
We'll take an Instagram photo. Squeezing the extra small.
Take one of those pants, please.
Oh boy.
That's amazing.
So do you guys do garage sales too, or are you just strictly estate sales? Garage sales aren't worth your time. How do you feel about those?
Silly.
I would say they're absolutely worth looking at. I mean, in the reseller community, there's people who just do garage sales and they seem to do pretty well. I'm not in that circuit, so like in my head, I'm not like, I already know where to go to the garage sales. So I just don't have that information really built in yet of like where to go at what times of the year. But you know, sunny out, it seems like, hey, maybe that's a good time to drive through the high-end neighborhoods and see what's out on some lawns.
We found, so the first year we started doing this, we did.
Oh, the first year.
Yeah.
I talked to these guys about when the first year garage sale, you only get like 3 solid months of garage sale season here in the Portland area because we get so much rain, like 7-8 months in a row. So the first year we went garage selling, I was only scanning barcode stuff.
Yeah.
Zero knowledge of anything else unless I had a barcode that I can scan it with.
Well, because we were just doing FBA, we weren't really doing eBay at all. But
so
we started doing Friday and Saturday 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And we realized very quickly that Friday was the day and Saturday we'd do like half the volume. Like we would absolutely kill it on Friday, and then Saturday was kind of a struggle to get through. So if you guys can get out on a Friday, and I started, the garage sales are starting even on Thursday.
Yeah.
So Thursday, Friday, by Saturday, all of the people who are, you know, have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, they're going out on Saturday and getting what's left, but Friday.
We'll see. You found work, and that's always good. Everyone has different things that work for them or not. Somebody in the chat wrote, new show idea, eBay hoarders. That would definitely be us.
That it's airing right now. So
Yeah, right.
definitely can make an appearance on
Yeah,
that.
I think we can all say that we have a death pile somewhere. There's
100%.
I can't see it, but
yeah,
it's sitting right behind us.
Literally my body is I'll dive on the pile, dive.
Don't get up, Jake.
Just don't move. Yeah, our office is like super clean. Just don't go in that door. The other side of that door, there's a lot of stuff in there.
We're not sure what happened.
It's like this area stays clean, but all of the things go in that room.
It's like when we're like, yeah, let's clean the office of all the excess inventory. It just kind of like gets moved into that other room.
Okay, you guys, if you have any specific questions for Jake and Erika about eBay or estate sales or...
And you guys do just eBay or you do Amazon too?
So I do Amazon, but it's merchant fulfilled.
We're gonna be having a combo about that one.
And I haven't done like exceptionally well, but so I've sold through probably half of the inventory that I've ever listed on Amazon, which isn't bad, but I am sitting on a lot of stuff and missing opportunities by not having it fulfilled by Amazon.
And what are we gonna do about that, Mr. Jake?
I don't know.
So we were chit-chatting and he's telling me you had like 200, 300, 400 merchant filled listings.
Yeah.
And we were talking on a separate conversation with somebody else about the power of FBA. Prime customers will pay extra to get their 2-day shipping versus a merchant filled. And we were talking about this and then I clicked. I'm like, hey, you are going to bring your stuff down to the office. We're going to get your stuff into FBA. So I'm super pumped. This Saturday, Jacob's going to be coming down here to the office. So we'll probably hop on YouTube, Instagram Live, all that fun stuff, get a ton of content up for you guys. I just think it's going to be fun to see how your sales go from like, yeah, and then boom. I'm so excited to document that. It's going to be so good.
And that really is how my sales are. I'll have like, 3, maybe 4 sales in a day, but then I'll easily go a week or 2 weeks without any action on Amazon. And, mind you, I only have 300 items listed, 350. So that's not abnormal, but if that was eBay, you'd probably still get maybe a sale every other day or something.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can get you like 1 sale a day, switching all that stuff over to FBA. It's going to be, I'm so excited.
That'd be awesome.
Somebody else asked about smoky estate sales. And what do we do if there is smoky, like a smoker house? Sometimes we run away.
Those are tough.
If you can't stand the smell being in the room, if it's anything like fabric, just stay away from it.
You're better not.
But some like metals, tools, and stuff like that, you can they don't gravitate to the smell as much.
Basically, if it's a smoky house, I'm choosy about what materials I'm going to take out of that house. Not just because someone might buy this, but I have to hold it in my house until I sell it.
Good point. Yeah,
that's the same thing when you go to the bins. Like you found some really good stuff in the bins before that you had to leave just because it smelled.
Or better yet, I get it home and I'm like, why does our office smell like pot? And then I find that one piece. I'm like, okay, this has got to go.
That explains it. So funny. What's up, guys? We've got some fresh faces hopping up in here. We got Mr. Wade. Happy late birthday to
Happy
Wade.
Birthday, Wade.
Happy B-Day on the 3 days ago.
To use an app or program to cross list eBay and Amazon, or just do it manually?
I do it manually. And I think it's because what are they called? APIs or right? Yeah. It's just mainly like justifying the cost of an API and managing that. And at where I am, and like I said, I kind of just make the determination of like what things I feel are going to be better suited to eBay, what things are going to be better suited to Amazon. But generally speaking, if I can list it on Amazon, I'm going to do that. So I'll just list it on Amazon because that takes 10 seconds. There's no excuse. Like when I realized, I was like, wait, there's no listing fee. It stays up indefinitely until it sells. And it takes 10 seconds. Okay, I'm going to list.
It is. That's what I love about Amazon's platform. It's so easy to list stuff. It's like put your price, quick condition note, and boom, you're done.
And it immediately tells you what your competition is under that specific product, which eBay, they started to implement a tool that was kind of like that. They gave you a price suggestion, but that is, don't use it. Do not use that because factoring in your condition, like what version of what you have compared to other people's, if yours is the first edition, then it's worth a lot more than, someone. And that's the thing, is like, I just don't trust that, whatever that algorithm that they use, because I'll list something 20% above that and mine will sell. So
it's almost like Amazon will send out these emails, like price suggestions too. And I'll have a product selling just fine at like $40. Amazon will send me an email. It's like, you might want to consider lowering your price down to $20. You might get more. Like, no, happy where I'm at. Thanks though.
I think we're good. Thanks.
That's so that they can buy it at $20. And then
I know, right? They're gonna flip my product back on it. Gretchen asks, "What is API?" API is basically the best thing I've heard somebody correlate it with is Chris Grant, and he said it's basically the unlock to a door to the back end. So if you have Amazon, for example, is very API friendly, so they let third-party programs come in through their back door, and they can do all kinds of stuff. You have Amazon repricers, you have different softwares that can track your buy cost and your net profits. eBay, on the other hand, does not. That's why there's not a lot of eBay style programs, because they're not API friendly. They don't like third-party softwares coming back there.
I wasn't aware of that. Someone asked, hey Heather, what can you sell used on Amazon? Pretty much anything. So there are certain things that are restricted to be, you can't sell them used. But generally speaking, if there's a product listing for it and you're not gated, then you can sell it on Amazon. And that's the thing, is I do sell a lot of used merchandise. I'd say 90% of my inventory is going to be used or like new. And then I do have, about 10% that's like new old stock that I found or is new in the package. I do minimal retail arbitrage. Something really has to kind of jump at me and slap me in the face for me to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good deal. Because I'm not looking for it like you guys are, but I'm going to.
We're out hunting.
So do you guys prefer, this is a question from Amazon Seller 99. Do you guys prefer going to estate sales at the opening of the first day, or do you try to go near the end and get better deals?
So for the first 2 years, I pretty much went exclusively at the end.
Last day, 50% off.
Half off, just because there's so much left behind, and you can bundle things together, and they're willing to negotiate. And I would only really go to the first day if there was like coins or something I personally collected that I was like, I'm willing to pay closer to market value for this. And then I'll dabble in other things. Now I'm starting to kind of open my wallet a little more and say, all right, if this is a good product that sells quickly and I can even double my money on it, sure, I'll go the first day and try to be the one that gets it.
Have you gone to a sale the first day and then you go back the last day to clean up, or
Totally.
Yeah, and that's also kind of a good strategy going the first day, is even if you have the time, if you're okay with making the trek, is you can really scope out what's there, what their pricing is, and then kind of get an idea in your head of like what you can wait on buying and what you really should just pay up for. And that's the thing, is like, maybe when you first get into it, I don't know, like depending on your experience level, I would say if you're early into it at the beginning, don't pay up for stuff. Get the cheap stuff, make, huge margins on maybe some slower moving inventory. And that's what I did. It worked for me. Of course, I would say that's what you should do. But if you have the capital and you are risk averse, where you're like, you don't mind as much, depending on what your level is, pay up for stuff and see what happens.
Smart.
I love it. Somebody asked, how do you get more positive reviews on Amazon? I've sold about 200 items or so, but only 7 reviews. Jeff, it's too negative. Here's the biggest difference between Amazon and eBay is reviews. eBay loves reviews. Customers and sellers are all based on reviews. You're going to get a crap ton of reviews. The ratio is incredible. Amazon customers, you are lucky to get 1 out of 1,000. To be honest with you, it's very tough to get reviews. So my first answer for that is you've got to just sell more product. If you've sold 200, like go for 1,000. You've gotten 7 reviews. Well, I guess there would be 5 good ones. But if you got 5 reviews on 200 sold items, that's great. Keep doing it. Just go for 1,000, go for 2,000, 3,000, and just work your way up. It's just a natural progression. You'll get more reviews as you sell more stuff.
I think that people don't review on Amazon because, like, on eBay, they know that we are people, that are selling these things. And it's, we have our store set up, and, we can talk a little bit about our business in our profile or, store, whatever, store description. But Amazon it just looks like a big monster to people. Like it's just Amazon.
They think they're just buying from like a line of robots.
Right. Like when we just when we tell people what we do for a living, they're like, so do you work for Amazon or do they pay you a check? We're like, well, not really. So people are very confused about how Amazon actually works. They're pretty sure that everything just comes from an Amazon warehouse.
Well, I just had this conversation. I was out buying a certain type of product this morning to flip on Amazon, and I was talking to the manager, and I mentioned I sell groceries on Amazon. He's like, wait, why would customers go on Amazon to buy peanut butter? I'm like, rule number one in my business, I have no idea why. I don't know why they buy half the crap they do, but they do, and I go where it's at. Yeah, a lot of customers just don't understand how Amazon works, and they don't understand they're buying from actual third-party sellers like ourselves. What was the other one I saw?
I don't know if you guys do this, but we put a little thank you for shopping note in our eBay. Don't do that for your Amazon stuff, but for our eBay stuff, we put a little thank you note. And I have definitely noticed a higher percentage of people give us reviews or fill out the reviews. So if you're not doing that, I feel like it's worth it. You don't need to get super fancy with it.
We print them right here. Well, you go to Staples.
Now we go to Staples. I get a heavier stock paper, but before I was just printing them on my printer, and it doesn't have to be awesome, but it just kind of reminds people that, you know, hey, if we're doing a good job, let us know.
Right.
I like that. And actually, I mean, even after doing this for, 5 years as a business, I still haven't implemented any kind of like thank you type deal. I just have like the email note that is sent to them with an invoice or when they finish the transaction. And that's actually one thing that I was going to say to Jeff is on Amazon, you can contact the buyer and you can always reach out and say, hey, how was your experience? How was the purchase? If you have any issues, let me know. That kind of puts in their mind like, oh, this person initiated contact with me and they're genuinely interested in how my experience was. Then they might be a little bit more, and you can even make them aware of, hey, if you had a good experience, like leave a review. If you had a bad experience, don't.
Yeah, right.
Just don't say anything. No, it's a fantastic tip right there. Amazon Seller 99 said we get about 1.5 to 2% feedback rate on Amazon. Yeah, and that's just the nature of the ballgame, guys. It's just go for a volume at that point. What was the other question I saw up here? I didn't want to miss. Oh, here we go. Do you guys target any specific? Whoa, that just bumped down. Do you guys target any specific companies that do estate sales, or do you just go onto the website that you mentioned earlier and just go from there?
So there definitely are companies that that I have a relationship with, and I know the people who work there. So I am partial to maybe looking at their stuff first, but I'm not going to not look at someone's sale and check out their photos. And that's the thing is like, because of estatesalefinder.com, not sponsored, they show photos of what's there. And even estatesales.net, check out the photos because they may not necessarily list that they have this rare toy there, but then in the photo you're like, oh my goodness, it's darts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Lawn darts. Have you guys heard of those?
Yeah, we played with them all the time, and I never got hit in the brain with them. So I don't know what's wrong with society. Don't stand directly underneath them. On
eBay. So
they're federally banned.
Yeah.
But people, I mean, you could sell that on Craigslist or some other website, and people pay $25 to $40 for a single jar. So if you have the kit, you could get $150 to $200.
Wow,
that's insane. Especially if you got the box with it too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Gretchen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Her husband had one go through his hand. So why are you letting him play with those? Gretchen?
How long ago was this?
When was this?
Is this recent or like when he was a kid? Guess that makes a difference.
Hey, Anthony.
Oh, what's up, Anthony? Says, what's up, Portland Pickers? You guys responding to my IG DMs is legit. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Anthony's just down in Eugene.
Oh.
Yeah, I chit-chatted with him Not sure. I think it was last week. Yeah, he's down in Eugene, if I remember right.
He was
like
like 10. Up sometime and thrifting and do it.
Eugene's got some good spots. I love Eugene thrifting. They got so many Goodwills down there.
Oh, someone threw it at him.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. At least it wasn't recent. I'd be worried.
Yeah.
That's something I would do. Like, hey, babe.
There's a dart through my foot.
There you go. Do the Portlandpickers work together as a couple reselling, and do you do it full time?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, if there's a time above full time, that's what I do.
Just a little bit extra.
It's more than, and I think that's probably consistent with your guys' experience and everyone else is just in the full depths of it.
Yeah, I think we talked about that at dinner too. Like, there's no such thing as like, we were at dinner, somebody brought up like how many actual hours are we putting into things, and it's so hard to like say, oh, I do 20 hours a week or 30 hours or 40 hours, because it's when you're self-employed, whatever your business is, like, it's 24/7 in your brain.
Oh yeah.
So even though you're not physically working, sometimes like you're constantly working in your head. That's why it's so tough for any of us to take freaking days off. Like, we took half a day off on Tuesday and we went up to the beach. And that, I mean, in a weird aspect, it was so hard to like unplug and not think about stuff except for just hang out at the beach. That was my only job for the day. And it was so mentally hard to do.
Half a day too. Just half.
That was half a day. That was half a day. We worked up until like 1 p.m. here at the office, and then after 1, we hit the road.
Yep.
We had an amazing day, so we did unplug. But that first like hour on the beach, I'm like, oh, you know, I can check DMs, I can go do, I can reprise. Like, there's all these things. It's so tough to disconnect yourself from it sometimes.
It is.
So that's why we're right there with you when you say like you do it full time, but it's always a little extra, just a little bit.
And we met right when he started like really getting into it, like 5 years ago. And
before then, I was probably doing like 10,000 or 12,000 in sales a year. So it's like it was part time, and I was doing it really part time, like super leisure, and I was doing 12K in sales. Nice.
And then I was just like hanging out with him, and he was like, hey, you want to like list some things? And I was like, yeah.
That was the first date.
Real Jim.
That's so romantic.
Hey, girl, you want to list some stuff?
And we work so well together, and like I wouldn't, like, it works for us and it works for you guys, but like it's probably really hard for a lot of people to work together, to be around each other all the time. And also to like I said, we work from home, so I can see the kitchen that needs dishes done and food to be cooked right from where I'm listing. So it's like so hard for me to detach those two things sometimes. And so I'll get up and make dinner, and Jake's just
click clack
away,
testing stuff, cleaning stuff.
That's exactly why we had to get an office. We had to get out of the house.
I think it bugs me more though. Like Erika said, like you can't let that stuff go either. So it was really hard to just be in eBay all the way, or just be in momming and childcare and, you know, housework and all of that. It's like you're always kind of split.
I have to. Chris said I need to find me a listing lady. So that's Jacob's technique. So for those of you single dudes, it's called the list and chill technique. So you can slap that on a merch shirt.
You're welcome.
Actually, I'm going to message my guy tonight. So if anyone's going to try to steal that,
the shirt's going
Jacob, I'll give you some royalties on it.
List and chill.
It's the list and chill technique.
What? We had some more. Okay, how about shipping? Yeah. You guys go through a ton of wrapping supplies? Yes.
So I
do.
So I have my own little eBay. It's like a baby eBay, and I tend to do more specific things. And my story about how I got into this, so I do paint by numbers, and I had done a consignment job where this yoga studio that I used to go to, this lady's like, I have a bunch of stuff that I want to sell. Because when you tell someone you do this for a living, they want you to sell their stuff. Like
Mhm.
Our landlord drops us stuff every week.
I have
at this
stopped
point.
telling people of a certain age demographic that I do what I do because I can't.
Oh my gosh, the
Handle.
beauty box thing. Please tell them about the beauty
We
box.
can't talk about it anyway.
Oh,
So this
It was
lady
bad.
had a paint by number painting, which like I knew what those were, but I didn't know that they were collectible. So I just threw it up online. It was of this horse, and then someone bought it who lived in Beaverton, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to come to my house and deliver it to me? I'll still pay shipping." And I was like, "Okay." You know, at first I was like, "Oh, this is a little weird." Jake came with me just to make sure it was safe, and it was just this lady who collects paint by numbers, and she has hundreds of them in her house.
wow.
Beautifully framed, and she like redoes them to make them really nice. And she just likes to show them off. She's just like this lady who lives alone with her cats and her paintings. And
Aw.
I just have like developed this relationship with her, and she just gives me her duplicate paint by numbers, but she also is always buying, so she has shipping material. So we go like once a month and pick up bubble wrap, shipping boxes, styrofoam, all the cardboard.
I love it.
We just load up. And
Oh, it's the food truck. Oh no, they froze. Yes, Snyder, we are live currently.
Oh, what happened?
Oh no, we lost him.
We lost them.
Are we still good on our end? Maybe we all froze.
Froze? Are we frozen?
I hope it's not on our end. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you pull it up on your phone? I don't know if we're still live, guys.
I see.
All right, we're good.
You're good.
There's like a.
good.
By the way, if you don't know YouTube's platform, there's like a 30-second delay from when we talk to when you guys hear it. So that's why we sometimes like pause and just wait for the comment to come in.
Yeah.
All right, so we're still good.
Oh no, where did the Portlandpickers go?
Hold on, let me text Jacob real
Jacob's
quick.
like freaking out.
We lost
Thank you
him.
guys for hanging while we have technical difficulties. Anyway, we were talking about shipping supplies while they're getting back on.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap. So we have everybody orders from Amazon. So if you just tell people don't throw away your packing bubbles or whatever Amazon sends, basically, if they're smaller boxes, I especially love anything that's, about like this, smaller than a flat rate. I tell people to hang on to them for me, and I'll pick them up from family and friends and stuff. So there are ways to get around shipping supplies. Also, we order from USPS.com. You can get all of your boxes for free at least. And then, as far as the packing goes, you do kind of have to bite the bullet and spend a little money there. But
this is another good one too. Anthony just said is create a Craigslist ad or Facebook Marketplace ad. Saying that you'll take any extra shipping boxes, moving boxes, bubble wrap, etc. That's another really good way to do it too.
Yeah. I would be specific about not taking peanuts if you don't want them though, because
their internet went out.
Oh,
Portlandpickers.
So sad.
We'll be going live on Saturday when they're here. So.
Yeah, if you guys have more estate sale questions, we will make sure that we get them answered on Saturday. Let me just read through here. And of course, if you guys have any specific questions, you can always just check out Jake and Erika on their Instagram, Portlandpickers.
I'll also link them down below too. They have a YouTube channel as well, so I'll link that down below too. Go check them out, subscribe, show them some love. I'm excited. I want to go trail along and just like creep on I almost said wholesale. I've got wholesale on the brain this last couple weeks.
I had no idea that you could look up all of these estate sales, and not only look them up, but sign up for them. So you can kind of reserve your spot on that first day. So you're literally the first bodies into that sale. So that was interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I think we've only been to like 2 or 3.
Yeah, and we go very randomly. Yeah, it's like I said, we mostly hit the garage sales, and they start pretty much right now and go through the end of September, or middle of September. We have a couple of community garage sales that we love, 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 love. Can't wait for those. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Snyder here said Walkmans on eBay. Walkmans, even CD players. Like, it's so weird to think CD players are now old.
Yeah.
But yeah, CD players, Walkman, voice cassette recorders, like all that old. I love 90s electronics. Love, love, love them. Like if I could flip just a few things on eBay, it would be 90s electronics, like camcorders especially, big money. So keep an eye out for camcorders. So 90s electronics, ink and toner, and shoes. I could just flip those 3 things the rest of my life. I'd be totally happy.
Yeah.
I love them.
Anthony, I wish you were closer than Eugene, because you and Charles could go watch Avengers.
Oh my God. I was going to go tonight. So it starts in 40 minutes. I was contemplating going by myself tonight, but I have a bike I just ordered, so I got to put that together, and I want to go on a bike ride with my boy. So I'm going to take little man out for a bike ride tonight instead.
So no Avengers tonight.
I'm going tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Are you going tomorrow?
I don't know.
I'm going.
I can't remember seeing Civil War, so that means I'm probably not as excited as you to see it.
So
I mean, I'll probably
if anyone's around the McMinnville area, I will be going to Avengers tomorrow night. So it's open invite. Tell you what, if you show up, if anyone shows up, I'll just put up the invite. If anyone shows up to watch Avengers tomorrow, I will pay for your ticket.
Wow, that's really nice of you.
Let's just see if anyone shows up.
Let's see.
You have to message me so I have a head count.
Yeah.
Make sure I have enough money in the bank.
Don't spend too much at Nike.
If we get like 100 people show up, I'm gonna be screwed. Oh, that's the other thing too. Is anyone else doing Nike Friends and Family Weekend? Comment below. Let me know. Did you guys get any good flips or good finds? I guess you haven't flipped them yet. I came out with my 10 pair because that's the limit per code. So I came out with my 10 pair this morning, and I'm going to go back tomorrow and get 10 more pair. And I'm going to get a pair for me. I got you a jacket today.
I got a jacket.
So I got to get a pair of shoes.
Okay, Anna, that is a really good question. So Anna is starting her e-commerce business with $0. She is starting by just flipping things in your home, which is awesome and so smart and something that everybody should do. That's definitely what we did when we started. Charles came home from this seminar and was like, I could sell things on Amazon, and I thought he was crazy.
I went scanned all my, I was a massage therapist for a while. That was my main career. So I went scanned all my old massage books.
He was taking all of my anatomy books and like, hey, do you need this anymore? And like, so all of our books, you know, some of our electronics, stuff that we had kind of forgotten about, to be honest. So most of that stuff went on Amazon, but that was back a while ago. So now Amazon rules have changed a bit. You can still sell some used things on Amazon, but as far as used things, eBay is very nice because Amazon, there's a lead time for how much, or, you know, when you will get paid. And eBay is through PayPal, so you get paid right away.
And if you guys don't already have it with your PayPal account, you can get a PayPal business debit card. And that thing is, I mean, it's amazing. You can literally have a sale come in right now, and it's instantly available that you can go purchase more stuff with that card.
Yeah.
So definitely get that. So
as far as getting the snowball going, Anna, and just making sure that you are reinvesting everything that you get back from your business, I personally think, just my bias, but I think that eBay is probably the best way to go. With that said, Amazon is also a great platform. There's a lot of power in Amazon, but it does take a little more work up front, learning all the numbers and stuff.
And also do the ad thing. You can post an ad on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and offer up. and just let people know that you will get their books. Or even I heard of one person that would actually basically post and say that they would go and clean out people's garages for them.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Have you heard of that? Like people will just go clean out friends and family's garages. Just in their exchanges, they get to, pick out some of the stuff that they want to get rid of.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of different ways you can hustle and make money. Gary Vee says this all the time. You can go onto Craigslist under the free section and flip stuff that way too. And it, he even brought this up where you can get a piece of furniture for free, get it, post it on Facebook, 20, 30, 40 bucks, flip it, and you can repeat that cycle and make some money that way too. And then once you have 50 bucks, 100 bucks, then you go out to garage sales and yard sales, thrift stores, and work your way up that way. But the biggest thing is like what Trista said is, especially in the beginning, you've got to put every dollar you make goes back into your business, because the more money you're pulling out, that's the less money you have to source with, and the slower your scaling is going to be.
Absolutely. So good luck. Get plugged into groups that will help you grow and succeed, and you'll kill it.
Oh my gosh. Sold a Sony Walkman for $160, paid 50 cents at a yard sale. That's amazing.
Walkmans, you guys.
I love Walkmans.
We've sold broken ones before. Like,
yeah, I scored 4 of the same ones at one sale, but one of them, the hinge was broke, so the door didn't shut all the way. Guy still paid pretty much full price for it. eBay question: I have 85 ratings with 100%, but my sell-through rate is seemingly super low. I am always looking for popular items, Keen, Merrill shoes, gaming, electronics. Any general tips?
Sorry, you read that really fast. I'm trying to keep.
Sell-through rate.
So I would just say, make sure that your pictures are awesome. Make sure your keywords and titles are great, and then just be consistent about listing every day, even if it's just 2 or 3 items. Making sure that your consistency is on point. eBay is an absolute numbers game. The more that you the more you list, the more you'll sell. So they're back.
We found them.
It goes out at like the same time every night, and we're always like, "What is going on?" And then it comes back.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That's why we dropped Comcast.
Yeah.
I typed it in yesterday. You like typed in Comcast, and then it came back on, and we're like, "They're watching us."
Oh no. You ever look up the outage map when your internet's down? It's just like a big red circle over your town. That's horrible. Yeah, look up the outage map. It's kind of scary. You see where they're messing up around the US. So bad. We were just busting through some eBay questions.
Erika, will you finish the paint by numbers story?
Yeah.
Can you remember where you stopped?
We went to an abandoned house, and there was like some dude.
No. So yeah, we just went to this lady's house who collected paint by numbers, and she's an avid collector, so she's always has boxes and packing material, and she just gives it to us. We go like once a month. Like, just making connections with collectors is amazing, because they also are usually getting rid of their older pieces in the collection, or their more unwanted pieces too. So she gives me all of her duplicates. So we get all of our packing material pretty much for free.
Nice. Yeah, we were just talking about posting on Craigslist and Marketplace that you'll pick up those kinds of things for free, or that kind of stuff, or just letting your friends and family know. Don't throw away those Amazon packing supplies, because I'll come pick them up.
Pretty much. Somebody asked if the Hangouts. If you're talking about the VIP group, yes. So in our VIP group, we have a specific Hangout we do with those guys every Wednesday night. Those are all recorded in the group files. So if you're in the VIP group, we've got a couple new people I just saw pop on here. Go to the group files, and everything's in there. When you write titles, do you emphasize words such as capitalized words?
Jake, you could probably answer this better. You have way more listings than I do.
So it's funny because if you sell on eBay, like one of the best ways to generate a title is to take someone else's title that worked. You know, if someone sold the product using their title, obviously the keywords were right. It drew in the right person to purchase it. So I always try to make some kind of modification because I don't want to just, you know, directly take. So try to find a way to take a title and add on it. But when you do that, some people get pretty crazy with the caps lock. Okay, I mean, full blown. So I mean, I like to throw in some lowercase. You know, it's nice to have some variety, but
I personally think it's super obnoxious. Just because I have a hard time reading it. Like if I'm shopping for something and I'm looking at listings and everything is in caps, I have a harder time reading that. And
I just feel like they're yelling.
Yeah.
Men's Nike Air Max, buy it now.
Keep in mind is like, how would you shop for a thing? That's how you should sell it. You know, like what are the keywords you would look up for? Like somebody else is going to be looking up those keywords.
And I would be interested to know this. I don't know if anybody in our chat knows this, but I don't know that the capitalizations change the algorithm. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm searching for red tank top in all lowercase,
red tank top,
do the listings that scream at you come up first?
Yeah.
Or is it just simply because those bigger letters catch your eye? So I don't know if it actually makes any kind of sense on the algorithm side of things, but I just find it obnoxious. And have you guys seen this where people are putting emojis into their listings?
I haven't seen that.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, inside of the listing?
Yeah, it'll have like hearts or flowers in it.
Oh. Well, I mean, yeah.
And that I know has nothing to do with an algorithm. No one's putting in there free people tank top with a flower emoji behind it.
Just start putting hearts on all my shoes.
See
if it works.
See if something pops up. You know, they're just doing it because it's bright and colorful and it will grab your eye really quick. So,
a little bit of personality too, maybe. I don't know. Make them stand apart. Can work. But mainly I would say on eBay, what sells an item like above all is like a good first photo. Like if that first photo looks exactly like what the person had in their mind when they're shopping for it, then got them.
Real men.
Yeah. And then just somebody was asking about sell-through rate. Just make sure that you're buying things that have sold in the past, you know, or that somebody
sponsored.
What?
Like sponsored, like sponsor paid.
Like promoted?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's the word.
Oh, like have promoted listings.
Well, I was thinking like when the listing comes up, it says sponsored.
It does.
Yeah, promoted listings, sales. That's another thing to play around with. Like when I had a bunch of old inventory and shoes I just wanted to get rid of, even if some of them were break even, just to get them out because I had them for a couple of months. I just ran a promotion on them. It was buy one. What was the sale? It was buy one get one 25% or something like that. No, it was a dollar amount. It was $15. Buy one get a second pair of 15 off.
Yeah.
And then that helped flush out a lot of old inventory too.
Yeah. So you can play around with that stuff too.
Yes, that.
Jake is right. Good photos are the way to go.
Boosted my sales.
So, and Martin said, pro tip, make sure all your listings look good on the eBay app. Mobile friendly boosted my sales.
We didn't know about the mobile friendly. Well, like you have to like copy and paste the code or whatever.
Yeah, like when we first got started.
We did that for a long time. We had no idea.
It was sad.
Put me on game. I'm not aware of this. Mobile. I'm not. Oh my God.
No.
Yes.
You about to
So-
make some money, son.
Let me see if I can.
Educate me on mobile friendly.
So when, for some reason, when you do, do you list from the computer or your phone?
Actually,
Oh,
Oh, so
Mhm.
it's either way, right? So either way, when you make a listing, it's not automatically mobily optimized. That's the word I'm going to go with.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not automatically that way. So you have to like
How do I
copy
do
and
this?
paste a code. There's a couple of different ways to do it, I think. They don't just have a simple like button that's make it mobile friendly.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't know about this for the longest time, and Trista brought up. I'm like, I've been listing all these shoes, and they're not mobile friendly.
I mean, like, I think that this is
I think I've
Probably.
seen like because there is in performance, I think you can see where your sales are derived from.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mhm.
I think about 60 or 70% of my sales are from mobile
Mm-hmm.
or mobile sales, but I have not been using this code. This
Yeah, I had no idea.
So I'm just making mobile friendly code works sometimes.
Sometimes
Can you post it in the chat? The code is that?
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I could post it in the chat. Let's see.
Anthony
So basically,
asks-
there's a code that you can put into the description on your
listing.
when you're building your listing that will make your one listing, you have to do it for each one, which is a bummer. So it will make your listing,
Anthony asked if we could do that in bulk.
yeah, you can do it in bulk. But you have to make sure it's in each one. It's just not automatically in there when you build a listing. So it just makes it so that your listing comes up pretty for your, your Android or iPhone. So it looks, people can see the photos better and the listings are a little more clear and that kind of thing. I'm just trying to find out because this is just like this is how I see my listings, but I don't know if this is.
This
Yeah,
shows
I'm
how much
wondering if,
eBay I do.
I wish there was a way that we could pull up a listing that was mobile friendly and one that has
And
not.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to
So-
figure out.
We should do a video on the whole topic of making it mobile friendly, and I could take a screenshot of both and then put them side by side on a video.
That's a good
That would
idea.
be a good one. And
I don't know how
my OCD will kick in.
What is?
Because they still show up. It just is like the
It's
most
not
optimal.
optimized.
Yeah, the most optimal.
Yeah, your listings are still showing up mobily just fine. It's just making them optimized.
Son of a gun.
Ooh,
Like, it's
Gretchen just
just
said.
Be in there if it's just a code.
Gretchen said prime rates are going from 99 to 119. Oh snap! Amazon's picking it up. Crazy part is that's not even. I don't even think that's going to make a dent in the Amazon customer base.
No.
There's so many people. I mean, we've been paying for Prime. I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Totally worth $120 still.
So what do your eBay descriptions look like? We copy the title in the description, then we do like measurements if there needs to be a measurement, then condition, and then like we copy and paste a little like shipping, how we do shipping, and like if you want to make an offer or you need different shipping, then we offer those things, just like a little blurb from us, and then that's what our description is.
Yeah. No.
I second that. No fancy HTML here. Like Trista will like center align her listings and like make them look nice and stuff. Mine's like men's Nike size 9. You want it? You're helping support a family here.
Right.
Meet me on the street corner around 9 o'clock. That's where that's where you'll get it.
I should start putting a little asterisk in the bottom that says your purchase is helping to fund my insane Funko Pop addiction.
Wasn't that like your first eBay name? What was your first eBay name? Like college, going to college or something?
Yeah, it was like attending
Oh,
college.
yes.
03. Like, you know what I'm doing with this money, don't you?
That's awesome. I love it.
I need an education.
I need an education.
Do either of you? Oh, we literally start reading at the same time. That's awesome. Go for it.
Do either of you guys recommend starting with just one, either FBA or eBay, or getting into both based on what product you source right from the start?
That's a good question.
Yeah, for me, I if I can list it on Amazon, I am gonna go. But I do FBM right now. That's something we're gonna fix. We're gonna get that FBA squared away. Chaz is gonna get me locked down on the FBA game. Because right now I'm all the way FBM. But yeah, if I can list it on Amazon, I list it on Amazon, and then I will cater. Like if it's going to be stronger on eBay, I won't bother listing it on Amazon. Even if I can, if I'm just like, well, there's specific details on this item that I know the Amazon customer's not going to read.
Yeah.
So I need to just list it on eBay and play it safe.
And also, you have your reputation on eBay makes you have sales. Like he'll price up an item that has 4 other listings of the same thing, and because his reputation, he'll sell his, and there'll still be 4 other ones on there for lower price.
And that's a real thing to consider, is as your reputation grows, your competitive edge starts to be in your favor a little bit, because you have a trusted reputation, whereas someone who has less than 100, maybe less than 500, transactions, they might look a little too fresh, and their photos might show that. So taking as good as taking the best photos you can, and just building up that reputation will give you competitive edge to price above the market sometimes.
And just to build up that reputation, you just got to sell things and just look around your house what you can sell. If it's just sitting there, if you haven't been using it for 2 months, sell it.
That's a good rule to live by.
There goes half my underwear drawer.
That you can't sell on eBay.
Yeah. There's listings. I've had weird nights where I'm like, I just want to look up random shit on eBay, and I found some weird stuff on there before. We should do an episode of like the top 10 weirdest things we can find on eBay, and just do live sourcing on eBay.
That would be great.
That would be
Harambe
amazing.
Cheeto.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I totally agree with that on like where to start with FBA or eBay. And I do think it depends on the type of product you're sourcing. Like if you're doing used stuff, typically eBay is going to be your home base for that. Again, like electronics, you can sell used on Amazon. Electronics, just if you're going to go Amazon with electronics, you have to test the crap out of it. Every single button. I had one of my worst customer experiences when I was new. I sold a camcorder on Amazon, and I plugged it in and it turned on. So I'm like, oh, it works. And then I bubble wrapped it, shipped it into FBA, it sold. And a lady sent me this, I should like share the post someday, but the big old paragraph that I got sent from this customer. And she was like, this camera was in great condition. Like it was all positives in the beginning, right? Like this camera was in great condition, fast shipping. I was so happy with it. So you can imagine how disappointed I was when I found out the rewind button doesn't work. And I was so excited to watch the specific I taped that no other camera can play back except for this one of my daughter's recital from like 5 years prior. And I'm like, oh,
you broke her dreams.
I bought it for like $10 and I sold it for 180. And so ever since that day, that was brand spanking new when I sold that thing too. I was like 3 or 4 months in. So ever since that day, I'm like, I will push every button on every electronic. Mm-hmm. So if you do that, then you need to make sure you're testing everything thoroughly, make sure it's in good condition. It has to have the power source to it. It has to have all the necessary attachments or anything that makes the item work. You have to have that for Amazon. You can't send stuff in without like a power cable or anything like that. Yeah. And all you should know this if you're doing Amazon, because it's in the condition guidelines. So make sure you read through thoroughly on what that all is. And then, of course, in your item description, your condition note, just be very thorough in there too.
Yeah.
Even though half the Amazon customers don't even read them, just put it in there.
They do. I really don't think they do. But I've had pretty good customers on Amazon, contrary to what my expectation was.
Thought they were just going to eat you alive when you got there.
I've had a couple people who are like, "Where's the remote for this?" And I'm like, I said it doesn't come with the remote. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Don't.
Please don't ban my account.
Actually, I actually sold something today, FBM. It's a Milwaukee. This is just right here. It's it's a Milwaukee battery charger.
Oh, nice.
$45. This was like $2 at the sale. Plugged it in, had a battery so I could make sure that it, charges. But this is actually I don't know if you can see, this is pretty rough. Like I put this as in acceptable condition, but it sold. It was the cheapest one.
And you add a little photo.
And I do add photos, again, do people look at them? I don't know. But
that does help out with electronic stuff too. Like if I've purchased used electronics on Amazon, and I usually will go towards the one that has the best description of the item or a photo so I can see it for myself.
And that is something that generally I'd go straight to eBay and list that. But on eBay, that's running $25 to $30. And so when I saw that the cheapest one was like $70 on Amazon, I was like, well, my condition is significantly worse, so I'll undercut the market and move mine. And 3 days later.
Yeah, and that's another really good tip with the last question of like which one should you do in the beginning, Amazon or eBay. Check both platforms on all your items that you're finding. For example, this morning I went to a store and I picked up 9 units of an item, retail arbitrage. So I picked up 9 units. On eBay, I can make about an $8 profit. It's a $30 buy cost. Or, I'm sorry, $22 because I had discounts I can use. So $22 buy cost, I can make an $8 profit. Like not bad for retail arbitrage, but I checked Amazon and I can actually flip that and make almost a $30 profit. So that's where you check both platforms. And sometimes you're going to have Amazon's the winner, eBay's not. And then sometimes it's the opposite where Amazon is a crap profit, but eBay, you might make bank. So you always check both because you never know.
Absolutely.
How often do I request payment from Amazon? I do use payability, so I actually get daily payouts. I'm using that currently. I'm probably going to cancel it pretty soon. I've been using it for several months just so I can have the cash flow every single day. That's the one hiccup about Amazon I do not like is you have to wait 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks you get your disbursement out. That's a pain in the butt. If you have a super old account or a super new account, you lucky a-holes, get a button that says request payment every day. Oh. New accounts and old accounts get it, but I'm one of the weird like middle children that never got it. They just skipped over us.
You're just a middle child.
Oh man, it's yeah. So I've been using payability for quite a few months just so I have the daily cash flow. But now that our cash flow is positive every 2 weeks, I don't necessarily need it now, so I think I'm going to cancel it. My review on it, it's going to be a very high cost per the percent. If you work out like the APR or whatever it is, it's going to cost you some money, but to have access to your future money is basically how I look at it. You're not paying much. So you're going to pay about 200. What was the math on it? It's 2% of your gross sales. So if you make $1,000, you're going to pay
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
And then I think that was it. Yeah, they don't have any like back end fees, hidden fees. So you're basically paying a small percentage just to get access to your future funds is what you're doing. So for me, it was worth it. If you have access to credit lines and credit cards that have lower APRs, that's going to be a little bit better on your pricing. But for me to access my future money and I got to pay a few bucks, then it's been worth it because I've been able to sell stuff, get access to my money the next day, and then go back out and source rather than sitting here spending all my money, waiting 14 days for my disbursement. and then go spend more. That's why I
Yeah.
love eBay, because PayPal is just like
Yeah.
done,
Automatic.
and I can go source again.
And that's really key, because when you're out there and the opportunity is there to haul something in, you need to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really do. Like, there's so many times where you have an opportunity come up where it's like, hey, there's a limited time to buy this product or this amount of product, and it's like, well, crap, I don't get money for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. That's happened many times, and so that's why I'm like, I need to have access to these funds quicker, and so payability for me was worth it.
So Anna asked about shipping videos and some eBay shipping pointers.
Okay. I'm assuming you meant I did 2 videos I think you might be talking about. One was how to create your first Amazon FBA shipment. Jacob gets the hands-on learning experience this weekend. And then the second one, I showed people how to do merchant-filled shipping on Amazon, which basically on the back end works the same way eBay does. You just buy shipping through them and print it off. Super easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give some eBay shopping, or shopping? I'm assuming you mean shipping pointers, or do you already have a YouTube video posted that I haven't found? The only shipping videos I've done were based on shoes. So I showed one on how to customize a priority box to fit a shoe a little bit better and save you on shipping. As far as standard shipping for regular products, we haven't done any videos yet.
Yeah. So Jake is the master of shipping.
Anyone can show you. This guy shipped a friggin' was like 4-foot boat, like model boat, and he had to like put all kinds of different stuff into that.
Yeah, he builds box on the daily.
And that's the thing. So before you, so a good shipping pointer would be determine where your cheapest cost is. So if that's going to be flat rate, if it can fit in flat rate, do that. If it's under a pound, first class, generally that's going to be $5 or less. And then if it's above a pound, then you're looking at, can you fit it flat rate? Is it going to go smart post? Or if it's an excessive weight, then maybe FedEx is going to be your cheapest method. And so then once you've determined that, you are either going to put it in a pre-made box or an envelope, or you're going to put it into a box that you either build or one you have laying around. And for me, it's really crucial to build boxes because I ship a lot of weird shaped items. And if you can, sometimes it's ounces that will save you $4 or $5 on shipping. Because
the higher.
Yeah, because just going over a size dimension limit or going over a weight limit, it puts you into a different shipping fee bracket. So I've saved hundreds of dollars every year by either building a box or getting creative with how you stuff it in a flat rate envelope. That's your best friend.
Also, eBay calculating shipping, always like put 1 or 2 more pounds than you think it's going to be.
Yes. So some people have this like ethical dilemma with shipping where they're like, well, I don't want to charge the customer more than I need to. And it's like, you need to protect your interest.
Right.
That's just how it is. And so add 1 to 2 pounds, depending on the size of your item, to allow for adequate packaging, because you want the product to get there in the same condition that it is in your hands. And that's another thing is, I have a somewhat thorough method of packaging things. I will generally, if it's not a breakable item, right? Clothing, tissue paper, maybe not tissue paper, in a poly bag or flat rate, and it's on its way. If it is breakable, I'm gonna bubble wrap it. I might tissue paper it. I'm gonna do a cardboard sleeve, and then I'm gonna put that in a box or a bubble mailer. And if you do that, you won't run into errors, and you can even go slimmer than that and still be okay most of the time. But they beat up packages in shipping. Mm-hmm. You guys know that.
Yeah.
Yes,
actually, I was just reading this comment from Ryan. In reference to package condition, when you select the condition, does Amazon check that when the package arrives? I work for a fulfillment center. I've seen workers treat the packages with no care.
Right.
Ryan, I'd be super curious to know what do you do at the fulfillment center where you work? I can tell you they do not check the condition. And I know this because anytime that you send in like used electronics, for example, I did a video a while back on this too. Typically I will bubble wrap and then stretch wrap my electronics. That's how I send all my stuff. And then your item label goes right on top of that. They don't open that up to check. So they just trust that you listed it according to the condition. The only time that they'll check is if a customer complained about it, they return it and then they check. Typically from my experience, that's what we've seen. Okay. So you work on the outbound side. So the picking and the packing. Yeah. So typically on the inbound side, they're not really going to check much. They're just going to trust that you made the best judgment call. They'll only check the customer complains. That's why, and like you said firsthand, he's seen workers treat the packages with no care, right? Same thing with FedEx and UPS. We've all seen the videos where they just like
that guy
chuck it over
on the porch. He was on the porch and he just treated that box like it was a bowling ball and he just like threw it up against it. He must have been having the worst day.
So with that in mind, you have to treat every item you prep. You have to act like a UPS guy is going to throw it against a wall. Yeah. So extra bubble wrap, be prepared for that kind of stuff, especially if you're shipping fragile stuff, grocery products. You just have to be ready for that stuff to happen. And in Amazon's video series, right, the Amazon Seller University, they tell you it should pass a 3-foot drop test. So that's something to keep in mind too. So Amazon themselves tells you to package it well enough to be able to withstand 3 feet. When I was selling used printers on Amazon,
don't drop
I had to make sure like there was lots of bubble wrap, like thick bubble wrap on the bottom just in case they ever did. I got a printer back one time as a customer return and they said it showed up broken. And I'm like, that was basically a new printer I sent them. Right? It was used like new condition, amazing printer, sold for like $400. I got it for $50. I was so excited, got it back. And one of these employees or FedEx or somebody dropped this thing because I got it back and I picked up the box and it just like
you could hear glass shaking.
You could just hear like there's 876 pieces floating around in this box. I didn't even open the box. I just chucked it. I'm like, this sucks.
Like, this is a bummer.
That transitions to another thing to keep in mind is if your package gets just annihilated in shipping, like if you know you packed the hell out of that thing and it arrives broken, file a claim. If you ship anything priority, you can go online to USPS.com, go into your account, start a claim on, they need the tracking number and the day that you shipped it. And then once you start a claim, you provide a proof of value. So usually what I've done is I'll do a screenshot of the transaction details of whatever it is I sold and just add that. 90% of the time, they're not going to ask you for any additional information. They're going to take, your claim at face value. 10% of the time, they will send you a letter saying, yeah, we're going to need you to bring the item, the packaging material, and a blood sample down to the office. and you're like, well, I just gave them a refund because they said it was broken and sent me photos. So that's not going to happen.
Right.
But usually the USPS honors if it really got damaged, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of an insurance.
So don't be like, if you're fairly certain or like definitely sure that it got damaged in transit, file a claim. FedEx and UPS, they're really good on that.
Good to know.
Nice.
Anna said, talk about your book sales. Do you guys sell many books?
So it's funny, right? Like around the time I get pessimistic about books, I'll sell a couple in a week. But generally 1 or 2 a month. But like I said, if I get pessimistic, then it's 1 or 2 a week.
But a good thing to keep in mind if you're starting and you want to go to estate sales is that at the last day, they're usually giving the books away for free because like houses, I don't think we've ever gone in a house that didn't have like a bookcase. Like they just always have books, and
Very true.
they want to get rid of them. So that's a good place to start. And free is the best way to be.
We're not in the conversation anymore. Everyone's having their own conversation in the chat.
Yeah,
I love it.
They're like, what are these fools doing?
That's so funny. 11K on Amazon this year, just starting. That's awesome.
That's great.
Primarily on the book sales. That's amazing, Anthony. Nice work.
Nice.
Yeah, and Eugene, man, there's some good library sales going on down there.
We have a lot of really great thrifts that just have tons and tons of books too.
Textbooks are just bank, you know. If it's a newer editions, I mean, so if you I went to community college, and within a term the book is already outdated, okay? And they're $300 textbooks sometimes. So I would source my textbooks on Craigslist, and then at the end of the term I'd resell them on eBay.
My sister was just
Yeah.
My sister just started a class, and she told me, she handed me the, was it anatomy book, medical terminology, something, and she bought it for $200. I'm like, oh, give me the book. I scanned it, and I showed her, and Amazon's selling it new for $78. I'm like, anytime you need textbooks, you let me know, because I can hunt them.
Yeah.
It goes the other way too, where
yeah.
it's like, this is readily available outside of the school for a lot less.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, lost packages. Okay, so Jake said he had a first class package lost into the abyss of USPS, and that does happen. There's not really anything you can do except wait for it to maybe turn up.
Didn't we go searching for a package once? I feel like we went searching. Like
I thought you guys froze again. I was like, not again.
That was epic.
Didn't it? Like it said it got delivered somewhere, so we went to that address, and it wasn't like a real address.
What?
Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Never mind.
I don't remember.
I think it was my package.
Maybe.
It got like returned, but they like brought it somewhere else. And we drove to the place. Anyways.
I don't remember that.
I
feel like I should.
We had this really horrible thing to happen where we.
I don't.
So do you guys know when you print on eBay how the barcode for a FedEx package comes out with the USPS label, like barcode on the bottom, and then the FedEx one? Because the reason for this is because FedEx will do like the first leg of the shipping, and it will get to some city, and then USPS takes it over from there.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of dumb, but
for Smart Post, right?
Yeah. So we sent this really, really expensive
I have a drone lost in FedEx somewhere.
Or USPS.
And it's been floating around with no tracking updated still to this day for about 8 months.
Oh my goodness. So
and of course, I was new. Yeah, the label was created. I dropped it off at the post office. Trista even went in the post office in the back room and like.
Yeah, they let me in the back, and I was looking for this.
So and of course I was new when I did this, so I'm like, no insurance, no signature confirmation. It was a $400 drone. So that still to this day the tracking number still shows dropped off. But I'm like, FedEx.
I do know that the post office doesn't like those packages.
Yeah, so after that incident, I never dropped them off at the post office. I always drop them off at a FedEx location. And even the FedEx people will be like, but there's a USPS. I'm like, just scan it because it's yours, I promise you. So.
I dropped it off, and they're like, yeah, typically we don't take FedEx, but we have a FedEx truck that comes like twice a week or something like that. And it was Smart Post, so it had up to like 7 days anyways. I'm like, yeah, no problem, just as long as it's scanned in. And I watched her scan it, and then never was heard of or seen again.
Yeah.
That hurts.
That bears.
So I have a little chip on my shoulder towards FedEx.
Yeah, so stuff gets lost. If it's over a certain dollar amount that you're not comfortable with, just buy the insurance. It's not that expensive, and it will cover anything that happens or if it gets lost. So
Nice. Did you read Scott's comment? Scott, first week selling on Amazon and got 4 sales in the first 7 days. I was so scared to start. That's awesome, Scott. Congrats.
Nice.
Once you get that first, even on eBay too, like once you get those first few sales, you're like, oh yeah, let's do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that fear kind of just goes away.
Yeah.
You guys,
Oh, go ahead.
you guys ship international?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably
Show.
I don't even know how many. It says on your like my eBay back office how many international ones you've had in the last whatever many days. So
quite a few of the
pretty cool.
Nikes go overseas.
Yeah. So, Chris, how do you guys source books? Every book I search on Amazon is selling for 99 cents. I just don't seem many profitable, perhaps just hitting a run of bad books. So,
Here, you want to hear my take?
Yeah.
You are looking at the merchant people. Sorry, Jacob. You're looking at the merchant people, and they are making money on their shipping credit. Is how they're making money, because they're getting these books for probably 50 cents or under. So if they charge 99 cents and charge you $5 or $6 for shipping, even if it costs them $3 for shipping, they're doing high volume. That's where they're making their money, is on that shipping credit. So if you're going to do books on Amazon, you can do it FBM, fulfillment by merchant. You can do that, and there's that method to do it that actually makes money. But if you're only going to do FBA, do not price your books with the merchant pricing. You need to look at the other FBA, because again, Prime will win. Most of the time, you're going to have customers that will pay more money for their Prime membership. So if you see a book, for example, that there's a ton of merchant filled sellers selling at 99 cents, but you see that FBA is selling at $25, you're going to price with the 25. You're just going to ignore those other guys. That's how you're going to do your FBA pricing. And then you're going to look at Keepa too. That's a very, very crucial part to this. Look at Keepa, and you can actually filter to see what the FBA pricing history has been and what those have sold for. So you can look at what the actual history of the sales looks like, not just what the current timestamp is.
What is the subscription cost for Keepa? Or is there? It's free. Okay, you just have to register. Because I looked at it and I was like, oh, I have to sign in, and then I got distracted.
Yeah, just keepa.com. That's KEEPA.com. They have a paid version, some other stuff that they do. I've never messed around with it. But yeah, for the most part, you're just going to go there. I highly recommend you install the Chrome extension, because on the Amazon listing page, the product page, the Keepa chart will pop up right there on the page. So you don't have to look at keepa.com, because the Keepa chart will show up right there.
Does it show up on the mobile?
Not on mobile, just on a Chrome extension. Yeah, mobile would be sweet if they did that.
So Anthony said, do we have any tips for selling FBM? I mean, you probably have to get a little bit more specific, because for me, it's just kind of like, well, if I can sell it, I'm going to try to.
And if you have the space.
If it's going to sell for more on Amazon than eBay, then that's kind of my thinking there. There's not really any pricing techniques that you can do, because your competition is right there with you. You know, where on eBay, I could price this same product $20, $30 above the market. If my photos are better, my title's better, and I'm running a promotion or promoted listings, that's going to drive traffic to it. And it could be in relatively the same condition. So, but on Amazon, even if yours is like new and theirs is good, your pricing needs to be competitive if you want to sell yours before then FBM. Now, I don't know Prime, how much that changes. So if you have competition when you're selling Prime, how greatly does condition factor, would you say, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, it does play a role. And you have to think of it from the customer's point of view, because typically, especially if we're talking textbooks, I think that's probably the most common book people want to flip, because that typically gets the most money. So if you're looking at textbooks, you got to put yourself in the mindset of a broke college student, right? So they don't. I think because I've sold a lot of used acceptable books,
Right.
And I've usually priced just like, 10, maybe $15 lower than what the very goods are going for. And those have sold decently for me. So I think the average college student really isn't going to care too much about a beat up or highlight and stuff like that. And I think it just depends on the price points too, because the higher the price of the book, that's where you're going to see a bigger separation between the conditions.
That's good. So, all right. So Anthony also said, do you take your own photos? Is there a way to generate more sales? I wish. And is it purely price based, whether you post on eBay or FBM? So I do take my own photos if there's notable condition remarks. If it's in excellent condition, I'm just going to say it's in excellent condition. There's no, if it has some scuffs and wear, then I'm definitely going to take some photos, even if the Amazon customer isn't going to look. It's good to at least have them up there. And then I would say the way to generate more sales is to pump out as many listings as you can and price your stuff the lowest. That's the way to win the sale on Amazon, it seems like. And then is it purely price based? Not always. If I see that the sell through is really high on Amazon, I might target it to that because it might be $5 or $10 more on eBay, but I'm basically guaranteed to sell on Amazon over. Oh, and that's another factor is how much competition do I have? If I only have one person I'm competing with on Amazon, it's really easy to beat their price. If I'm competing against 10 people on eBay, you can easily get lost in the noise of competition. So
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Gabriella says, how long does it usually take for an LTL shipment to get to the warehouse? LTL stands for less than truckload. So that's when you take, instead of shipping a box of items via UPS or FedEx, if you have over 150 pounds, you can put those on a pallet and stretch wrap the pallet as one unit, and you can ship that for dirt cheap. Some of the big wholesale guys, they get their stuff down to like 5 cents, or actually no, Eddie got down to 3 cents one time.
That's crazy.
3 cents a pound is what you can pay. Like, it's stupid cheap. That's if you're shipping.
It's probably not
thousands.
the norm. It's probably more like 10 cents a pound.
Yeah, you're going to be looking at like 10 to 15 to 20 cents a pound. It's super cheap to ship that way. So if you're doing heavy or a lot of volume, that's usually the way that you want to ship. But it will take longer. We've done it, I think, 2 times. We shipped in Christmas trees. Artificial Christmas, like we're talking like big ass
like
artificial Christmas
trees. Yeah.
So we did LTL on those. That was during Q4, so they took like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Typically LTL, so if you typically see like a 3 to 5 day turnaround on your regular shipping, you're probably going to see more like a 7 to 10 day turnaround, somewhere around there. It also depends on the time of year, the prep that goes in with it, that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we are at time, guys. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and boogie on out of here. I just want to thank Portlandpickers for chilling with us tonight.
Thank you guys.
We told them, yeah, of course. We told them in the beginning, like, this is super laid back. We're very casual people, because we don't bring people on to like do the interview thing, but we just come on and pretty much have conversations like what we did over at dinner. There's just a lot of knowledge coming out of the mouths of these guys. So I'm like, we got to get them on the show.
Yeah.
We've got to. And you guys don't know this, but they came on super last minute too, because Trista on Monday, it was Sunday or Monday.
We had dinner with you guys on Saturday, and that night we were like, well, we should just have them on the show. That'd be fun. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah. And then I completely spaced to text them. And so I just messaged them yesterday. I'm like, what are you guys doing tomorrow at 5? So thank you guys for being flexible and popping on here with us.
Yeah. Thank
Absolutely. You. It was a pleasure, and can't wait to do more stuff in the future, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for Saturday. We'll probably be based over on Instagram for the day. So tune in. We'll do some live streaming for you guys over on Instagram. So follow us at Side Hustle Pros to check that out. Be sure to subscribe to these guys. And you guys have a YouTube channel too, correct?
Yeah, we do. That's actually something I wanted to mention is we are going to start putting and building up some more content on there. So if it's looking a little lackluster right now,
just wait.
it's going to get pumped up. We're going to do hauls. I mean, if you request a video, we'll put it together. We'll make it happen.
Awesome.
I would personally love to see an estate sale haul from you guys. That would be cool.
That would be awesome. It'd be unique too, because it's different than
Super
what's on YouTube now.
Yep.
Shout out to Chris.
Thanks,
Thank you
Chris.
for the super chat, my friend. He said, thank you for all of your help. I feel I owe you guys a portion of all my profits for the info. Thanks for all you do. Look forward to learning more from you. Thank you so much, Chris. Much appreciated. You guys can check Portland Pickers out on Instagram, Portland Pickers, and check out their link to their YouTube channel below, and hound them to get some haul videos up, because I'm super curious to see that.
Hey.
Yep.
All right, aside from that, thank you all.
Thank you.
Peace
See you
out.
next week.
Have a great night, guys.